again. Meanwhile, while the governor would not say exactly when a running mate announcement would come, there is growing speculation it could be as soon as next week. That historically would be considered early, very early. To Townhall's Katie Pavlich on what the risks and benefits are of making an early choice. What do you think, Katie?
Well, first of all, I'm here with breaking news to tell you I still don't know who Mitt Romney is going to pick for vice president, even though he made that very clear. But the pros and cons, look.
But do you think he has at least got that list down, that if you have not been vetted,
yes,
that you're not going to be vetted?
Yes, and keep in mind that Mitt Romney has done the presidential running thing twice now. This is the second time around, so they're not, unfamiliar with how this process is supposed to work. And I would bet that they've been vetting vice presidential nominees since the beginning of the GOP primary process, more than a year ago. And so, in terms of the pros and the cons, you mentioned historically, yes, it would be very early. Since 1992, according to Larry Sabato, both Democrats and Republicans haven't mentioned who their vice president is going to be or announced it until just days before the convention, outside of the 2004 race when John Kerry named John Edwards as his vice presidential nominee. But that was 20 days out. And so we're, more than a month out here for the RNC convention. And considering, the cons are that the RNC convention then won't be that exciting, right? Well, considering the DNC convention is falling apart at the seams day by day, Romney announcing early might be a good thing, considering the focus would be on him for the convention and not a new vice presidential nominee. And then also some of the cons are that gives the media and other people another full month to kind of vet whoever Romney chooses and kind of pick them apart and see where their defaults are. Also,
it robs you the chance to keep anyone who would be on that shortened list of VP wannabes on the reservation, right? If they know they've not been chosen, they'll be less inclined to sound so supportive and sycophantish, right? I'm just being cynical.
Right. But also, what's important here, too, is the news cycle. So if you come out now in July when Congress is still in session, the news will change rapidly within the next couple of weeks. Congress has a bunch of major votes coming up. If Romney decides to announce his vice presidential pick in the middle of that, he can go two ways. Either the vice presidential pick gets swept up in the news cycle of what Congress is doing, or they're put front and center. But there's a lot of things that could happen internationally, too, within the next month. And so choosing and waiting to choose a vice presidential nominee typically is to the last minute, because based on the world events, based on domestic events, it's going to give Mitt Romney an opportunity to pick the best person for the times just ahead of the November election.
All right, Katie, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, new signs of the